Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. Last week of September. This month has flown by. I was just thinking, like, it feels like it's only been 2 days in September, and now we're at the end. So I hope everybody's having a great day. Today, I'm talking about rebranding. Now, rebranding is a common topic that comes up around this time of the year as you move into the next year because people are thinking about starting off fresh, doing some things differently and that type of thing. So I just want to briefly touch on this because a lot of times questions will come up on how to rebrand, when should I rebrand, and all of that stuff. So one thing I do with clients in the No Hustle coaching program is we go over brand influence. And a lot of times you'll hear brand authority being talked about. And it's kind of like the same thing, but I say brand influence because ultimately your influence is what impacts your audience. It impacts people to make a buying decision, and it really impacts how they see you. So your influence is very important, and it's really a big deal, and it's a big part of my program, along with a few other things. So before I get into the whole thing about rebranding, I want to say that it's okay to be where you are, because I've had clients before who were in a place where they felt like they were stuck, or they felt like they were being pulled in a different direction, and it didn't feel too good, because it was like changes were happening and they didn't really understand what was going on. And so you have to understand that if you do feel like you're being pulled in a different lane, or a different, just a different direction, that it's really about your growth. It's really about you ultimately getting into alignment with what you should be doing. Because I know for me, I didn't start here. I started with internet marketing and digital marketing, moved into branding, even did network marketing at one point. And so you go through these different things and these different cycles in your journey of entrepreneurship. And sometimes you will be pulled in certain directions that, it just comes up. It's like, oh gosh, what's happening? So, so just don't be afraid of that. Don't fear the change, embrace it, because it's probably going to help you level up even more. And like I said, it's really a part of growing, of just really evolving into a different space. And a lot of times that has to happen. And ultimately your revenue is affected. And so we just have to understand when it's a good time to rebrand and when it's not a good time to rebrand, or just what that looks like and the reasons for it, right? That's really the key thing, the reasons for it, because sometimes your reasons are not necessary for a rebrand. Okay. So if you feel like, for instance, you look like everyone else, like you're blending in, because subconsciously we can adopt each other's traits, right? It may not be something that's done on purpose. It could be a subconscious thing. So therefore, there's no originality, there's no standing out, and that can cause you to have crickets, right? Nobody reaching out to you, nobody just wanting to actually do business with you. And so what we need to do is restructure that. We need to figure out where your unique abilities are, because your brand identity is very important. It's what people see, your image, along with your reputation, along with your brand story. Your whole foundation of your brand has to be set in order for you to build on it. It's just like a house. A house needs a foundation. Without a foundation, how can you build the house? So it's the same thing with your brand. So we have to understand what that looks like and really do an assessment to see the areas where you can be more of you and put more of you into your brand, so that you are standing out. What can I do differently over here? What can I do differently over there, so that I'm not looking like everyone else? So take a step back and really look at that, because if you are getting like crickets and you aren't getting people reaching out and attracted to really working with you, meaning your clientele isn't leveling up, that's exactly what you need to be looking at. Some things like that, your originality, okay, and how you can tweak that. Okay, so think about what feels authentic, unique, and original for you. Okay, and it's an easy thing to do. Trust me, I've had clients who have done this, and it's like, this is not necessarily boring, but it's something that we see a lot, right? We see it a lot. We see a lot of people doing the same things. So how can you do something differently? And it's really not a hard thing to find. It's all about your magic. Bring your magic, attracts people to you. Okay, and it's your magic, your magnetism, all of that. All that good stuff. Okay. So that's one of the things. Now, another thing is you want to attract a new audience. So if you want to attract a new audience entirely, like say you really want to move, you feel a shift and you're moving into a different lane, then yes, you do need a rebrand. Okay. If you're attracting a new audience and you're still staying where you are, but you just kind of have a different lane over here, like a different branch over here, that's going to target a new audience, then what you want to do is a partial rebrand. Okay, so that means you're not doing everything all over again. You're not positioning yourself all over again, but you do have to have your marketing messages and all that good stuff targeting that particular audience. So you need to do a partial rebrand. Okay, but your brand identity has to appeal to both the existing audience and the new audience. So you got to bridge that. Okay. You have to bridge that. And so your brand should always speak to the people you're trying to reach. Okay. So that's what you do. And your brand's influence is very important. It covers all of that stuff because you have to know who you're talking to, how you're going to talk to them. It's always something that I've said, even when I'm talking about your email list and getting people into your funnel. You may have a list over here that needs a certain message and a list over here that needs a different message. Your marketing messages are always going to be different for your audiences, depending on what the audience is. Okay. All right. So another reason why you should rebrand, if you're thinking about doing it, you're expanding. So you're expanding with new offers. Okay. And it's not a total rebrand again. We're not talking about a total rebrand. We're talking about a partial rebrand. Once again, it's just really about tweaking the messaging, tweaking what you're saying and positioning it for that particular audience. Okay. It's really the same thing as what I just spoke about. It was really just you expanding on your business. If you have one offer now, you may want to add another offer or a couple of offers. Okay. But every 4 to 6 months, evaluate where you are and how you can grow, how you want to grow. And then you can identify from that point if you should rebrand. Okay. Okay. So here are reasons why you shouldn't rebrand. All right. Now, if your sales are down, and a lot of times people will feel like, okay, my sales are down, or I'm not getting any sales. That's really something that's not about a rebrand. Okay. Because you don't want to lose your brand recognition. If you work really hard to build the foundation, and you're putting your messaging out there and you stand for whatever it is you're standing for, you don't want to lose the recognition that you've already built. So you don't want to do a rebrand just because your sales are down. It's really about probably your offer. It's either about the offer or it's about the people that you're putting the offer in front of. So either way, once again, we going back to how do we figure out our offer and what we should be offering. Okay. So now this goes back to your market research, doing that, talking to different people who are your ideal client and trying to figure out what solutions they need. That's all that is. That is not about you rebranding. So let's not get that confused. Okay. Now, if your sales are fluctuating, right, you want to consider changing your marketing strategy. Okay. You feel like you're having up and down months and you're not getting predictable income. You want to change your marketing strategy. Incorporate something new. Throw out what doesn't work. Continue with what does work. Okay. And this is what I do with my clients and I love doing this because it's really all about testing first to see what's working for you. None of this is cookie cutter. It's not going to be the same for somebody else's business like it is for your business. So this is why you have to really consider working with someone who can put a strategy in place that's specifically for you. All right. So if your sales are fluctuating, you definitely need to incorporate a new marketing strategy to see what's working. And like I said, also look at your offer. And another reason why, and this is this is a big one, you're bored with it. Like you're just bored with what's going on. Okay. You might be bored with it, but your market may still love it. All right. So no, there's no changing because of your feelings. Get out of your feelings. If you're bored with it, that's fine. Your market might still love it. They may still want it. If you have not given it time, then you need to give it time. So look at where you are. And if you've given it 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and nothing is happening, okay, then think about restructuring what it is that you're offering, and who you're targeting and all that good stuff, right? Think about that because you don't want to keep doing what's not working because your bank account is affected by that. All right. Sales going up and down, great month here, not so good month the next month, right? You have bills, you have this, you have that. You have a lifestyle you have to maintain. So think about all these different things. But yeah, there's no switching up when you're bored with it. That's not a good reason. Okay. That is not a good reason. Okay. Because your market still may need it. Okay. That's the most important thing. Do they need this? Do they need it now? Right? Is this what the current need? Is this serving the current need? Is my offer doing that? That's what you need to be looking at. Okay. So those are just some things that I wanted to go over as far as when you should rebrand, when you shouldn't rebrand. If you have any questions about this, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. No Hustle Coaching Program is open for enrollment, and we're going to go over all these different things with brand influence, how to create that irresistible high quality offer, and of course a growth strategy. So if you're feeling uncomfortable and you're not sure about where you are with your branding, please reach out because you need the help. I'm here to give it to you. Okay. And I'm here to give you the answers that you need. So have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you next time.